All right, so in this video, I want to talk about the 16 of Nashua getting contacted by the FBI. I think this was Tuesday morning. The 16 posted this. He says, "The feds came knocking at my door today. We'll be filling y'all in on what happened to me at 4 p.m. on Wednesday on YouTube." And then shortly after this post, he posts a video talking into the camera saying this.
When they showed up, I was wearing a red Nike Tech. Not exactly the definition of fresh. I got a crazy update. I'm going to do the good, diligent podcaster thing, and I'm going to save it for tomorrow at 4 p.m.
So the 16's trying to create hype for his next show. He's saying that he's going to be revealing what the feds told him and everything. So he's plugging his show. He's trying to get that hype. He's desperate for that hype. And so the next morning rolls around and Three Fingers Whack posts this on his Instagram, talking about they double back on Adam. They got him this morning. Real shit. Oh, and Brick Baby might be in trouble. Do you think Adam is going to tell them what they want to do to bed? And he's, this is fucking stupid. Everyone knew that this was just the 16 trying to go viral. So he put Three Fingers Whack up to posting this in order to get it going viral, which it didn't. Everyone looked at this and said, this is obviously a play. And so Three Fingers Whack took it a step further and tried to double down on this lie. And so later on that day on the No Jumper News, Whack Three Fingers calls in and tells this idiotic lie story to Remo about how his attorney is trying to get the 16 out of custody. This is actually incredibly stupid. Watch this.
So, man, I just called my attorney, try to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up all on the blogs. What's going on?
They came and got him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by and we try and have him out.
Adam texts me every day, and I ain't heard from him today.
Listen, he should be free by 2:30.
It is really fascinating to me how Three Fingers Whack has turned himself into a source of laughter. He's a lol cow. No one respects him. And you're going to see in this next clip, Almighty Dodson sort of marks him out for being a lying buffoon. Look at this.
Today, and I ain't heard from him today.
Listen, he should be free by 2:30.
Why? Why 2:30 and why not 2 o'clock?
Well, no, he just said 2:30 at the latest. So I'm telling them, shit. I'm telling them ASAP. I don't want bro to sit in there.
So this was a failed attempt at getting a lie to go viral, and the 16 shamelessly admitted to this.
Second of all, I thought you were locked up, Adam. What's going on?
Nah, that was cap. Yeah, that was cap.
So the 16 admits that was just a fake publicity stunt to get hype around this next podcast, which featured these guys from Long Beach who call themselves the Viral Way Podcast. What? Now, I want to be clear. They are far from viral.
The Viral Way Podcast, who, believe it or not, we were already planning on having them on.
So the 16 participates in a hoax to overhype this show only to feature this lame-ass podcast from Long Beach? What? These guys are boring as fuck. These guys were so fucking annoying, I turned it off. I was like, these guys fucking suck. And everyone in the Reddit hates them too and calls them hypocrites and calls them stupid goofies because they used to badmouth the 16 not that long ago.
Online with a random white BMX skateboarder, that's when I knew the culture was done.
So I'm thinking, why would the 16 be interested in these guys as on-camera talent to host the show? This is Brick Baby's show. And to make matters worse, these are Brick Baby's enemies. What? They don't get along with Brick Baby. And here they are on Brick Baby's show as he sits in jail as the 16 sort of showcases them. This made me sick to my stomach. And I want to point out that these guys get no views. The Viral Way Podcast gets no views. They get like 300 views. And this is something the 16 has made fun of other platforms for in the past, not getting any views.
Me be a star of any room I walk into. What are you talking about? Your podcast gets 300 views. And have people come up to me.
So I was like, why would he want the Viral Podcast to have anything to do with No Jumper? And then I realized, oh yeah, it's because he wants to manipulate Crips. What? He wants these Crips to come on and agree with him. So he's got to get some Crips in that fucking building, and that's what I think's going on. And the Viral Way Podcast is near the bottom. I mean, these guys are going absolutely nowhere, and so they really are looking for that opportunity to be a No Jumper Crip. And so it's a glaze-a-thon. And so they're agreeing with the 16. They're agreeing with the narrative that he has no responsibility in getting people to incriminate themselves.
As far as guests that come on and willingly tell on themselves, that's 100% on them.
Okay,
I don't blame platforms for dumbasses coming on the internet where you know the police are watching.
Okay, I'm getting so sick of this narrative that people say, oh, it's not the platform's fault. It's the person that self-snitches on the platform. It's their fault. And technically, it's true. It is ultimately the person's fault who self-snitches and answers the question. But the interviewer also has a responsibility to ask ethical questions that aren't going to like deliberately incriminate someone for the sake of views. I would agree that a guest on a podcast, if they make a slip of the tongue or if they just talk too much and incriminate themselves, yeah, that's their fault. But if they're being interrogated and coerced into answering questions about specific crimes, that's where the interviewer has a responsibility not to do that.
I saw this video that alleged that it was you involved in this crazy ass shootout. What was that situation? Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay. But that wasn't related to any of the cases that you caught? Well played. Okay. So
people are using that clip as an example of what you should do if the 16 is asking you police questions. You simply just don't answer. And people say, look, problem solved. Just don't answer the questions. But the problem with that is the 16 sometimes brings people on just to talk about gang politics. And so if there's nothing else for them to talk about, if they don't have anything else going on, the 16 sort of gets upset. He starts getting mad.
I love that you've got this fucking weird ass demeanor for this podcast though. This is gonna be interesting. Right before I sat down, you're like, don't ask me about any street shit. The thing that you brought up was like a past affiliate of yours sort of ran his mouth about you in a recent interview. You don't want to clap back at him?
My mama always taught me the best reaction is no reaction.
That doesn't seem like it's really been much of a thing in the drill community. A lot of reactions.
That's the drill.
So I'm not saying that it's not ultimately the fault of the person answering the questions and incriminating them. I'm not saying that it's not ultimately their fault. What I'm saying is that this cuck is predatory in his line of questioning. Sometimes he brings people in just to talk about gang shit. That's all he's interested in. And he's even said in the past that if you're not interested in talking about this gangster shit, then you can get the fuck out. Listen to this.
Right, that's insane. If I had actually took him at his word right there, I would have probably just said like, all right, you could just drive back to Vegas and not do this.
And I also wanted to point out that the 16 doesn't just ask a question and then if the person becomes uncomfortable, they quickly move on. The 16 just keeps hammering that question, and that's disrespectful. And it's coercive, too, in my opinion, because you're sort of saying that you're going to penalize them by not, fucking with them or sending them home or whatever if they don't answer your line of questioning. This is very coercive.
That's what I'm saying. You got to hop in the Kia with mad pipes, go take care of what you're going to take care of, and then you leave the Kia wherever
take
you
care
feel
of what?
like leaving
We don't do none of that.
Oh, for real? You need to get the out of here.
Yeah, no.
Real ones only at this table. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
And so the top comment for this interview is, who watching this after he just got booked? What? So he got booked, and maybe he got booked for this interview. Who knows? It makes you wonder, though, because the 16 was saying some very interesting things in this interview that I want to actually show you. Watch this.
The cops ask me about y'all all the time. I don't tell them nothing.
What was this?
I had the Chicago PD on my line earlier asking me if I could get some information about you guys behind the scenes.
Yeah, okay.
They're
Start
like,
the guy.
Please report back to us.
Hey, give me the Glock right now.
We have a whole arrangement.
No, hell no.
I've been going back.
No.
I've been giving them all kinds of info.
No. We not doing that.
I might be trolling you.
No, why?
I got the whole building wired, you know?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
who the did your tattoos?
All those hats we were talking about off camera? Yeah, that's all on camera.
No,
He
no
talking about
hats.
all them hats.
I don't have no hats.
So the 16 says that he is talking to Chicago PD about his guests. That's pretty crazy. And he says the place is wired. What is going on? This was like 6 months ago. That's really crazy. No wonder everyone's been going to jail lately. I want to play you a clip from 4Extra's hood vlog that he got arrested for shortly thereafter. And listen to what the 16 says in this vlog.
If you're like me, you might be wondering, where are the cops in all this? I don't know. But we've been dominating this block for like 45 minutes right now, and I ain't seen a goddamn cop car roll by. So apparently,
They got a little hood permit going. Ain't nobody
So
saying
the 16 obviously has a little bit of a cop fetish going on here. What a fucking weirdo. Okay, so let's actually get down to what we came here for, which is the feds. I want to hear what the feds had to say.
While I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, a guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me, she says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him, like a ride or die would, she told him, Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so,
wow, so the 16 is lying again. This is insane. So he's saying that his wife committed obstruction of justice. Is that obstruction of justice? If Lena the Plug lied to the FBI while relaying messages to the person they're looking for, isn't that obstruction of justice? What is going on? So I just want to say that that story that the 16 gave was bullshit. Now, I do believe that she may have lied to the FBI and said, oh, I think he may have gone to work. I don't think he's home. But she certainly wasn't relaying messages throughout the entire thing. That's not what happened. The FBI came to the door. She said, no, he's not home. Sorry. And then they left a message and left. And then she told the 16 what they said after the fact. And so what a cheap lie to make this story more interesting.
you know, forced to hand over a crazy amount of information, because that was kind of lingering around in my head is like, God, this is gonna be a huge pain in the ass if they want to confiscate all the computers and everything in here. We're gonna have to, like, what, buy a bunch of computers to use.
Where's the furnace? Start the furnace up, guys.
I don't know. I was considering that. I have not destroyed any information for the record, but this is the thing.
The 16 hasn't destroyed any information, even though they delete the security cam footage every day, according to Three Fingers Whack.
What the feds are probably going to say to him, yo, we want to see your security, we want to see your surveillance footage.
It ain't gonna matter. There ain't nothing there anyway. That shit get erased every day.
Wow, so No Jumper deletes their security footage every single fucking day. That's very telling. What could be going on that they want to hide? And what's even crazier is that Three Fingers Whack is saying this on the show. What? And so I finally want to get to this clip where the 16 explains what the feds actually wanted from him.
But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first made the explosive statements that suggested that Big U had previous knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's death.
What? So the 16 thought that this was going to set the internet ablaze, that the feds are interested in Nipsey Hussle's murder and Big U's possible connection?
The FBI is interested in what Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death might be.
Okay, so that was the 16's big announcement, is that the feds are interested in Big U's connection to Nipsey's murder, which we've already, I mean, I just can't understand how he thought that this was going to go viral. This piece of information, everyone already knows about this. Big U's initial hearing is on the anniversary of Nipsey's death. They're doing this on purpose. This whole indictment is probably over Nipsey's death. And speaking of indictments, it looks like the indictment actually dropped, and Loose Cannon was named in the indictment, and he actually got his age doxed. He's 42. What? He's actually 42, so he was lying about his age.
Birth certificate with you. I ain't going for the 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. I ain't going for the 32.
You do look like a sort of weathered 32.
No, listen. I know, but you have to understand this, right? When you have money, a 2-year-old would be a big bro to a nigga that's 35.
A 2-year-old? That's a very funny concept.
What's up, big bro?
Hey, big bro.
No, it's true in the hood.
So that's pretty cool, and I'm going to have more Loose Cannon stuff coming to Patreon very soon. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.